Hello, we're here with the team news for today's FA Cup 4th qualifying round replay at the racecourse, Wrexham v Harrogate Town. Wrexham 5 changes from Saturday's game. I'll run through the team first. It's number 18 Rob Lainton in goal, 2 Kevin Roberts, 3 James Jennings, 8 Luke Young, 11 Rakeal Pike, 13 Mark Carrington, 15 Jordan Maguire-Drew, 16 Brad Walker, 20 Akil Wright, 23 Stuart Bevan, 30 Jake Lawler. On the bench, 7 subs for the FA Cup, 1 Christian Dibble, 6 Scott Burgess, 9 Mike Fondop, 10 Chris Holroyd, 14 Paul Rutherford, 17 Nicky Devidix and 24 Dougie Tharm. Go through Harrogate Town as well first. They've made 2 changes from Saturday's game. They are number 1 James Belshaw, number 4 Josh Falkingham the captain, 5 Callum Howe, 6 Warren Burrell, 8 Jack Emmett, 11 Joe Leasley, 12 Jordan Thewlis, 14 Liam Agnew, 15 Kevin Langmead, 16 Aaron Williams and 20 Liam Kitching. 6 subs for them again, just as it was at the weekend. 13 Joe Cracknell, 2 Ryan Fallowfield, 7 George Thompson, 9 Mark Beck, 17 Lloyd Kerry and 18 Jack Muldoon. So I'm here with James. As we said, it's 5 changes from the game. Most notably, no skipper. Sean Pearson is out for the first time this season, and Luke Summerfield also completely missing from the matchday squad. We've also got James Jennings, Rakeal Pike, Jordan Maguire-Drew, Stuart Bevan, Jake Lawler all in. Mike Fondop, Paul Rufford, Dougie Tharm dropped to the bench, and there is no sign of Freddie Hines in the matchday squad. James, your thoughts on that one?
Well, the immediate thoughts, obviously, your 2, I suppose, most influential players down the spine of the team is Sean Pearson and Luke Summerfield straight out. Summerfield obviously limped off during the game, or substituted off, and Sean Pearson, we don't really know why he's missing him. We're told it's an injury, but we're not sure how serious. I wouldn't imagine it's too bad, but
again, thigh injury apparently.
We're getting told thigh injury, or pointed at though. Hopefully, only a short-term one. So Jake Lawler luckily comes back in after picking up an injury earlier. And we're trying to sort of fathom who's going to play at the back. There could be a few options. We think we've got a lineup, but James Jennings coming back is a positive. Obviously, that gives Mark Carrington, who's been excellent in both fullback positions when he's covered, that gives a bit of flexibility. Kevin Roberts has played centre-half before in his career. Also, Brad Walker has as well, played for us and for Crewe. So, be interesting. We think Carrington will be in midfield, we're not sure. Yeah,
certainly when Brad Walker came, the Crewe fans were saying that they rate him not only as the holding midfielder, but as a backup centre-half as well. And when Jake Lawler went off the other week, it seemed to be what Sam preferred as well. So, plenty of options, as you said, on the pitch at the time. From that, it looks like Carrington just in front of the back 4, which should hopefully free Luke Young and Akil Wright further forward. And it looks like back to a 4-3-3, which, as we were saying before the match, is a positive, because that 4-1-4-1 runs a lot of cost to start with.
Yeah, I mean, I think straight off, it's more attacking. Yes, there's some big names missing. I suppose with a quick turnaround of games and the importance of the league, it's going to happen, and you're going to have to rotate, as both sides have done. And I think that's pretty obvious. Harrogate seem to be testing this in the air and putting a lot of pressure on our centre backs from the high balls, crosses in for set pieces. So I think get on the front foot with missing Pearson, who's probably our strongest in the aerial battles. With him and Manny Smith obviously not in there. Lawler brings a bit of height, which is good, and that experience back. But I think let's get on the front foot. Let's go and attack at home. There is pace up there. You've got Pike, Jordan Maguire-Drew, Young in behind that, and then obviously the intelligence and experience of Bevan just linking all that play together. So will we miss a few players? Yes, it's good. We're undoubtedly going to miss them, but I think there's still talent. That's the bonus of this squad is we're missing a few players, but it's still a strong side, and that couldn't have been the case 12 months ago. When Sean Pearson was missing last year in the cup and we rotated, we looked weak, and hopefully that's not the case tonight. I'm quite happy not to see Mark Beck starting. I thought he looked impressive. As much as I wasn't a big fan of him when he was here, I thought he was a good target man and had good feet, but never really. Maybe he was just a young lad trying to make his way through. He's gone down the leagues and scored some goals, but he looked a handful up front.
Yeah, he definitely looked a handful. I think you were saying on radio commentary at the time as well, he caused a lot of problems for Dougie Tharm in the trophy last year as well. Yes, him being on the bench is better than being starting lineup, but we have got to be aware they've got that big impact to come in. But for a few inches, I think his header in the last minute might well have knocked us out the cup on Saturday.
Yeah, but I mean, there's some good players still on the Harrogate who caused some problems.
Of course, yeah, I was particularly impressed by Leasley at the weekend as well. I thought the crosses he was putting into the box were very, very dangerous. But going back to our front 3, it's been positive, especially at home with Pike and Maguire-Drew and Bevan. Holroyd's back on the bench as well. There's pace up there, and it seems to be interlinking all the time as well. there's certainly no clear centre forward out of the three of them. It's all been rotating around and causing problems, which I've really enjoyed watching at home this season.
Yeah, I mean, it's strange that Freddie Hines not made the bench, but it's a great depth bench as well. There's a lot of positional. You've got cover for in Doug Farm in defence. You've got lots of options through the midfield and lots of options up front with Fondop and Holroyd as well. So you've got that big target man to come on if that's the type of game. Holroyd, who can sort of link in the sort of Bevan sort of mould if did a bit of experience and just killing time or changing around. There's some real good options there.
Absolutely, I think Mike Fondop's actually a little bit unlucky as well. I thought he played very well. Sam said in his post-match interviews that he was unlucky that refereeing decisions went against him, because otherwise he handled himself very well up there and was holding the ball up very well. And what times was a thankless job, especially the formation we started with. Yeah,
it's a strange one really. He gets penalised. He is quite clumsy. I think that's part of his raw naivety. Langmead's an experienced centre-half and sort of had him on the sort of the gamesmanship side of it, and the referee bought into that. A couple of challenges on the keeper. Keepers get overly protected, but you've sort of got to accept it. And he just sort of, as soon as he got that yellow card, it was a bit worrying, like Braintree, where is he going to stay on the pitch?
Yeah.
I think forced that call. So, Stuart Bevan, I don't think. I'm guessing perhaps that Sam doesn't like, and he doesn't like playing on 4G and saves his knees, because it's a couple of times now when we've played away on these surfaces he's been rested. So I'm not surprised to see him back. He brings a lot of energy, and for a short lad, he certainly can be a target man.
As you said, intelligence as well up there. He's looked very, very impressive since he came on loan at the start of the season, and it's been a big bonus as well that Sam's managed his fitness so well to get him up to being able to play 90 minutes for us now. Got a few comments coming in here. Tom Blackwell says not feeling too good about the team. He'd prefer Akil to anchor in the middle than Cara. We're not sure Cara will anchor the midfield, but saying that's the guess we're going for. I know, speaking to Akil Wright in post-match interviews we've done, he quite likes getting forward himself. He prefers having someone in. Obviously he's had Brad Walker the last few weeks as well, so whether it's not just Sam's preference but his preference as well. And
possibly. I mean, when he came last year, he looked like a box-to-box player that broke down the play, and when he was moved into that sort of defensive midfield role, I was a bit unsure, but I think he's proved that he's a good player. And then he won Player of the Month in there. But I think he's a good foil. I think Walker coming in sort of does give him a bit more licence. So perhaps that's why why there's a rotation, and the experience of Carrington with missing the experience of Summerfield and Pearson is possibly why. Otherwise, it's quite a sort of a naive midfield. There's experience in it, but there's not that sort of. Yeah, dominating force. No, true. Carrington's got captain's armband on as well today, which is always a positive. It'd be interesting to see how we cope without Sean Pearson at the back. So it's the first time in a very long time he's not been there. What do you think of the way Jake Lawler's played? And do you think he's the man to step up after a few games bedding in now? I mean, Jake Lawler's come into the defence and fairly seamlessly fitted in where Manny sort of left out in terms of the clean sheets and looking. I don't think he set the world alight, as in being a standout player that you notice as much. He sort of goes about his duties really well and just does the basics, passes in the back. He's got good height on him, good pace. My concern is the leadership there. Pearson brings that sort of that dominance of vocality. I think that Leighton's going to have to probably inject on the two centre halves, because both are going to be, or both don't appear to be talkers to me. No. Certainly Rob Leighton is a talker, though. We saw plenty at the weekend as well, as the balls are coming into the box. We'll just wrap it up then. Do you want to tell them how to follow the game today? Yeah, just a quick note as well. Last time I think we won in the FA Cup, Mark Carrington. Sorry, no, we didn't win. Sorry, last time we were in the FA Cup, Carrington scored as well against Stoke. So yeah. So hopefully, clutching at straws, but hopefully we can get through to the first round proper. If you can listen to it exclusively on the Mixlr channel, not on Calon today because of the FA regulations, but you can still tune in on the Mixlr app, and we'll be there with the full commentary. Obviously, updating on social media, etc. You can follow the game on Twitter and Facebook with the updates, and then there'll be live interviews and the match highlights after the game, whether it goes to 90 minutes or whether it ends up in penalties. But there will be a result tonight.